Sri Sachidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai. Sri Sai SATCHARITRA, an Insight. Episode-268. My humble prostrations at the lotus feet of our Sadguru Sai. By the divine grace of Sai, an attempt has been made to translate the gist of the divine discourse of Sri Ramanathan brother telecasted in Sai TV. This is purely done to share the glory of Sai and his divine teachings with more insight to the aspirants. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahmam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Devotees, we have been hearing about the significance of Annadanam, that is charity of food. Let's listen to a popular story of Karna in this connection. Karna is renowned in all the worlds for his generosity. He would never let anyone go empty-handed. After the demise of Karna, he reached the astral world and there he suffered of hunger. He was astonished because he has heard that none will experience hunger or thirst in the heaven. Moreover, he was known for his charity and has always fulfilled the request of everyone that approached him. Karna couldn't believe that he would suffer for want of food. At that juncture, he was advised to place his right index finger on his tongue as that would curb his hunger. He did that and his hunger subsided. He wondered how this is possible and asked, "What is the secret hidden in my index finger that could curtail my hunger?" He was told, "Karna, though you have been a generous person and has done lot of charity, you have never given free food. You reap what you sow. As you have never donated food, you haven't earned the merit that would offer you food. Hence, you are feeling hungry in this astral world." But once when an old Brahmin who was starving for food approached you, fortunately you did one meritorious deed, that is using your right index finger. You pointed to him the place where Duryodhan was distributing free food. Henceforth, the old man's hunger was satiated because of your timely guidance. As you used your right index finger to direct that person to have his food, the good merit of this action is stored in that finger. Hence, now when you are hungry, you have been asked to suck that finger to satiate your hunger. Devotees, this is not a mere story, but carries a great moral that highlights exceptional merits of donating food. Giving food is equivalent to offering everything. Donating food is unparalleled to other forms of charity. Sri Sai Maharaj inculcated this habit to his devotees not merely by words but also by his actions. Sri Sai Maharaj accepted food from 5 houses. This practice is called Madhukari Bhiksha. He followed certain norms in begging alms, and food thus collected will be kept in the mud pot known as kolamba. Mixed well, and only a small portion of it was consumed by him, and the rest were distributed as consecrated food to the devotees. Thus, the food collected from begging rounds was not only given to humans, but also crows, dogs, and cats got their share. In the later years, number of devotees coming to have darshan of Sri Sai Baba increased. To make the food suffice for all, Sri Sai Maharaj went many times to these 5 houses for Madhukari Bhiksha and stored the food in the kolamba, which was eventually offered to all the devotees. A few years prior to Sri Sai Baba's Mahasamadhi, his glory spread far and wide, and devotees from nook and corner of the country flooded to Shirdi in large numbers for darshan. Though the crowd of devotees increased in multitude, Sri Sai Baba didn't break the norms. That is, he begged only from those 5 blessed houses. At the same time, he was keen about not burdening one householder for this cause. Hence, he took a small portion as alms from each of these 5 houses. This type of begging alms is termed as Madhukari Bhiksha. Madhukari refers to the honeybee, as the honeybee extracts a small portion of honey without causing any harm to the flower. Similarly, begging of food was done from each of these houses without encumbering any of the householder. In that case, offering food to so many people from Bhiksha will be impossible. To solve this issue, Sri Sai Maharaj began to cook food in large quantities and distribute it to the devotees. A saint is usually not engaged in cooking food for himself or for others, whereas Sri Sai Maharaj took upon himself the duty of a householder and wished to provide food to all those who came for his darshan. This is indeed an outcome of his compassion and love for his devotees. Hemat Panji describes Sri Sai Baba's cooking and the utensils in an interesting manner in this chapter. The vessels used for cooking are known as handi. Handi means a huge vessel with a big mouth. Sri Sai Baba had 2 of them. One could suffice for 50 people and the other for 100. He set the mud stoves known as chulha in the Sabha Mandap. Devotees can find this in Dwarakamai. These vessels were used for cooking both vegetarian and non-vegetarian food. He cooked meeta chawal, that is sweet pongal, and rice cooked with meat known as meat pulav. It's interesting to know that depending on the vessel in which Sri Sai Baba cooked the food, the devotees in Shirdi would be able to guess the number of visitors for that day. So, when the small handi is placed on the mud stove, the visitors will be around 50, including the local devotees. But if Sri Sai Baba would place the big handi on the mud stove, that indicates many visitors would come for his darshan. This hypothesis of Sri Sai Maharaj has never failed. As is omniscient, nothing is veiled to him. Day by day, people's curiosity on this grew more and more. They were eager to know which handi was used by Sri Sai Baba that day for cooking. Though the devotees were ready to serve him and waited for his beck and call, Sri Sai Maharaj didn't want to trouble them. So he cooked for the visitors. This reveals the love and care of Sri Sai Maharaj upon his devotees. It is interesting to know about the items cooked by Sri Sai Baba. Other than sweet pongal and meat pulav, he used to prepare varan soup, that is soup made from pulses. Hemat Panji beautifully narrates the process and the recipe used by Sri Sai Baba. Firstly, he would place the handi on the stove, then pour sufficient water. Once it boils, he would add the pulses, and when it is getting cooked, a paste made of all the necessary masala items will be added to it. Apart from this, Sri Sai Baba also made couple of dishes using wheat flour. They are panga and rogda. The wheat was grounded and the flour was made into patties and was dropped slowly into the boiling soup. The patties should not get settled at the bottom of the vessel, so the soup must be stirred occasionally. The method adopted by Sri Sai Baba to stir the soup is astounding. Lo, he would pull the sleeves of his kafni and stir the panga or rogda with his hands. Thus, the food was consecrated by the holy touch of Sri Sai Baba's hands. Sri Sai Maharaj is a Mahayogi. He possesses the Urdhva Tejas, a great celibate himself, and every cell in his body is illuminated by this Tejas. So, at the time of cooking the food, Sri Sai Baba transferred the divine energy possessed by him into the food through his hands. This prasad was distributed to one and all. As a result, All those who consumed this food were free from diseases. Many prolonged illnesses came to an end. It makes us to think that for the well-being of the devotees, Sri Sai Maharaj has taken all the pains to cook the food. Otherwise, there were many anxiously waiting to cook food and send it to Sri Sai Baba. But the most compassionate one didn't want to give any trouble to them. Sri Sai Maharaj would boil the water, add millet flour to that, and once it gets cooked, he would mix it with buttermilk, and this was known as humbly. This was also served along with the food. Sri Sai Baba didn't take anyone's help in preparing the dishes. He himself cleaned the items, pounded or crushed the spices, added dumplings or starch or sweet as the dish demands. He did all possible things to make the dish palatable. Each process was done by him with utmost care and love. People gathered to witness the beauty of Sri Sai Baba cooking. The food thus cooked had a wonderful aroma that filled the air and increased the appetite of the onlookers. Once the food is cooked, Sri Sai Maharaj will lift the handi out from the mud stove and place it in front of the Nimbar at Dwarakamai. Word will be sent to the Maulvis. They would consecrate the food as per their custom. According to Islam, they must eat the food purified as per the halal procedure. As soon as the food is consecrated by the Maulvis, the first share from it will be sent to Mahalsapati and Tatya's houses respectively. Now, the remaining food will be ready to be distributed to others. The concern that Sri Sai Maharaj would show upon the devotees would be priceless and unparalleled. He would enquire every devotee in a loving tone, thus, "Bhav, did you eat? Have more. Taste this. Eat that. It is very delicious." And so on. In the later years, when these devotees shared their experiences, they all invariably said that each one of them felt that Sri Sai Maharaj loves only him or her the most. Such was his love and care for each one of them. Sri Sai Baba was never partial. His love was unbiased and was soulful. They said those days are gone. We will never get anyone in this universe to love us unconditionally like Sri Sai Maharaj. This feeling of the devotees can be compared to the Rasa Leela of Lord Krishna. When the Lord performed Rasa Leela, every Gopika felt that the ecstatic spiritual love of the Lord was only for that Gopika with whom he was dancing. The same feeling every Gopika had. Each one thought it was just with her the Lord danced. The Lord, an embodiment of love, danced with all of them uniformly. This was one of his divine sports. Similarly, Sri Sai Maharaj showered his divine love upon all his devotees equitably, but each one of them felt a special connection and it was established between them and Sri Sai Baba. Getting back to the subject, the handis that were used by Sri Sai are now kept safely in the museum. As per Sri Sai SATCHARITRA, one of the handi was big enough to cook for 50 people while the other for 100 people, whereas the vessels kept in the museum are of the same size. So there is a possibility that the other big handi is kept somewhere else. Thus, Sri Sai Maharaj continued to offer this blessed food to all his devotees. Pujya Sri Narasimha Swamiji in his Sri Sai Sahasranamavali highlights this virtue of Annadan in the 24th Nama thus, Om Shri Sai Annadana Sada Nishtaye Namaha, meaning salutations to the one who is devoted to feeding the people. Even when famine hit Shirdi, the distribution of food by Sri Sai Maharaj never stopped. For instance, during the outbreak of cholera epidemic, the householders had no stock of groceries or vegetables, so were unable to cook food in their homes. During such desperate situations, Sri Sai Maharaj cooked food and distributed to one and all. This greatest deed of Sri Sai Baba is beautifully articulated by Pujya Sri Narasimha Swamiji in 482nd sloka as Om Sri Sai Durbhikshopya Annadatre Namaha, meaning salutations to the one who feeds even during famine. Also, in two more slokas, Swamiji has wonderfully highlighted this great deed of Sri Sai Baba. In 532nd sloka, Om Sri Sai Nitya Annadana Dharmishtaya Namaha, meaning one who is very righteous in providing food perpetually. Out of the food begged in 5 houses, Sri Sai Baba took only few morsels for himself and distributed the rest to the devotees generously. Then, in 694th sloka, Om Sri Sai Bhiksha Annadana Sesha Bhuje Namaha, meaning one who partakes in the remaining food obtained by alms. All these 4 slokas portray the greatest charity, that is charity of food, that was done by Sri Sai Baba in Shirdi. Sri Sai Maharaj was so thrilled about cooking and feeding the people that he never delegated any work pertaining to this process, but diligently took care of it. He would go to the market and buy all the necessary groceries by himself, spend enough time to buy the right vegetables, at times would bargain with the shopkeepers and pay a fair price for the items. He would carry all the items to the masjid. Though the devotees were waiting to serve him at a wink of his eye, Sri Sai Baba would never involve them to do any of the chores. As a mother would lovingly cook food for her children, so was the love and excitement of Sri Sai Maharaj in cooking prasad for his devotees. Just imagine single-handedly carrying a large quantity of rice, wheat flour, pulses and other items for cooking, then pounding the spices in huge amounts on the stone slab and preparing food that would suffice for 100 people is not an easy task. It is a marvel to note that Sri Sai Maharaj performed various chores by himself. In 78th OV, Hemat Panji says, it's not just the work related to cooking was managed by him solely, but the wall adjacent to the Duni is a storehouse for the firewood. 3/4 of the eastern side of this wall was constructed by Sri Sai Maharaj with his hands. To build this wall, he took help of just one devotee by named Mahadu to mix the mud with water. Then Sri Sai Baba, taking the trowel in his hand, would lay the bricks one upon the other to build the wall. The floor of the masjid was coated with cow dung with his own hands. He sewed his own kafni and langoti. There is no work that was not done by Sri Sai Baba, says Hemat Panji. To conclude, the food donation made by Sri Sai Maharaj during his tenure is being continued sincerely by the Sri Sai Sansthan. While preparing food, Sri Sai Maharaj played a few divine sports to reveal the Guru Bhakti of his devotees. We shall listen to those amazing Leelas in the coming episodes. Bow to Sri Sai, peace be to all. Om Sai Ram.